So the first throw was ruled null and void.
And that turned out to be a blessing for him because he threw some 16 meters better.
So the umbrellas come out again.
So we have boys in the long jump. They'll be sheltering at the moment. We have boys in the long jump who've been involved in a triple jump, in a high jump, in the 100 meters. The girls, oh my goodness, it's coming down now.
Yeah, I think this is the heaviest it has been since yesterday, yes. Terry.
We had a rain delay at the beginning of the afternoon session yesterday. And particularly bad timing for some of the athletes in the javelin throw, as they would have completed the competition. They're ready to go. They're anticipating just a couple more throws, and they expected to have been out of there. In fact, I think that may have been the
final
last throw of the competition. Shamanda Wilmot, apparently. Shamanda Wilmot got a throw of 46.39 on her last attempt and snatched the gold. It appeared, we have not seen the measurement on that last throw from Wilmot, from Charles.
Well, if that is the case, that's a fantastic morning for the Jamaican team.
Yes,
very much in the high jump, and would be a big gold in the javelin throw on the 17 girls.
Yeah, so we await an update from the javelin throw area after that last throw from Charles.
So you're not missing any action at the moment. Rain pouring here inside the National Stadium, the Carifta Games Athletic Stadium here in St. George's, Grenada. The events left to go in this morning session. The 4x4 heats for under 17 boys and the under 17 boys long jump final. So one on track, one in the field.
So Charles's last throw, we are hearing 42.28 meters. Hasn't come up yet on the official results, but we're hearing 42.28 meters. And so she cedes her 2025 title, downgrades to silver, whereas Wilmot gets the gold.
Well, look at these medal standings, Terry, that you just sent. Trinidad and Tobago having more medals than the Bahamas at the moment. Jamaica leading at the moment, 15 gold, 16 silver, 12 bronze. Not sure after which events this tally comes from, but we'll get the updates for you.
It will be overnight.
Trinidad, they have 6 gold, 9 silver, 9 bronze for 24, and Bahamas 6 gold, 7 silver, 4 bronze for their 17 at the moment. We also have medals for Antigua, 1 gold for them, 1 bronze. Tyra Fenton responsible for that, and now Zanique Charles will add to that tally. Barbados, they have 9, 2 gold, 2 silver, 5 bronze. Bermuda with that gold and silver performance, overbridging the 100 meters. You're going to see him again later today in the 200 meters final. Curacao with a gold and bronze as well. Cayman Islands with gold in the discus and shot put at the under 17 level. They also have a bronze as well, with that bronze in the shot put for under 17 girls. French Guiana, they have a silver medal. Grenada, they have a gold, a silver, and 5 bronze medals. Smart responsible for that gold. It came in the javelin. Guyana, 3 massive gold medals on the first day. They had the under 20 girls, under 20 boys, 400 meters, and the 4x4 mixed to go along with that bronze as well. Haiti, they got their first medal as well, as silver. Jamaica's Martinique comes next. They have a gold and a bronze. St. Lucia, they have a gold, a silver, and a bronze, so they have a full set. Trinidad and Tobago, as mentioned, they have 24, and Turks and Caicos Islands, they would have had that gold in the high jump. They also have a silver, and Belize, they have a gold as well that came in the long jump last evening in the under 20 girls. Brooklyn Little, I think one of the best performances of the Carifta Games so far. So it's a rain break here at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. We're going to take a short break, send you back to your respective studios. When we return, hopefully the rain will subside and we'll have competition resuming momentarily.
Doing what I doing. Doing what I doing. I'm the hero of my movie. Doing what I doing. Don't study me, no. Doing what I doing. Don't study me, no.
Kites in the sky, families on the beach, good food, good vibes. It's the Easter season, but parents, remember this. Even on holidays, your parenting duties continues. If they're at the beach, stay within arm's reach. If they're flying kites, keep them away from the roads and electrical lines. If they're out, know where they are, who they're with, and what time they're coming home. And remember, if you're liming, somebody must stay sober to supervise. More free time means more screen time. Monitor online activity. Maintain curfews. Keep structure in place. Because safety starts at home. This Easter, let's protect what matters most. A message from the National Parenting Program, Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. Empowering parents, protecting children.
relative to Caribou Corn Festival. And in December, Caribou Corn Festival is so happening in December. So a lot is going on throughout the year in this concept.
Oh, was waiting for you. Hold a second.
Okay, so I am here with the under 17 javelin thrower who has just won herself a gold medal, Shamanda Wilmot. Shamanda, congratulations. And you seem to have left it rather late to bring that gold medal. Tell us about that event.
It's a good event to me. I've just started like last year, and to see that I come out here and I do my best in it to make my coaches and my parents happy, I'm really glad.
Okay, so your personal best would have been just over 44 meters, and having launched that one so far, I mean, you must have been excited.
Yes, I am.
All right, so there we had it. Shamanda Wilmot, another gold medal for Jamaica in the javelin throw under 17. Back up to you, Smith, and
thank you very much, Clyde. Doing a wonderful job in the rain downstairs. And we have a change in the commentary box as we say good morning for the first time to Bernard Antoine from Grenada. Welcome, sir. See him there live on the picture, joining our broadcast team for today's sessions. We just heard Shamanda Wilmot of Jamaica, the winner in the girls under 17 javelin throw competition, getting 46.39 meters on her final attempt to leapfrog Zanit Charles, who was the defending champion from Antigua and Barbuda, whose best was 46.27 meters. Bernard, Last night we saw in the long jump, as I was saying to Terry earlier, as we get a look at Shamanda Wilmot for the throw that gave her that win. Last night in the long jump for under 20 girls, we saw Brooklyn Little of Belize getting that gold medal, jumping a big jump on her third attempt. And here we're seeing in the final round of the Javelin, Wilmot of Jamaica doing the business to get that gold medal with that 46.39 meters. Welcome, first of all, Bernard.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And it's a pleasure to be here. I had, for the last 2 days, certainly I thought was the best view in the house, sitting in the bleachers. You will actually see the bottom of the spikes. But I tell you something, something comes out in the competitiveness when it comes down to this is my last chance. And this is exactly what happened today and yesterday. This is the last chance. I'm going to put everything in. And with the javelin in particular, the winds were like a mini storm. So to have that level of degree of control or to catch the correct flight pattern, I think she would have done quite well.
Certainly, and we are going to be getting some updated scores for the girls' heptathlon competition. Tanique Vincent, she now moves to 3,944 points, ahead of her teammate Curie Robley to 3,453 points. In third is Zaza Franz of Curacao, 3,311 points. So no changes in the top three after the fifth event, the long jump. Fourth is Jervienska Costa of Curacao, 3,257 points. Fifth, Brittany Barron of Jamaica, 3,180 points. In sixth, Inaya Nesbitt of Bahamas, 3,008 points. Seventh is Kisan John of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, 2,789 points. Eighth, Montisha St. Bernard of Grenada, 2,742 points. And ninth, Sydney Douglas of Grenada, 2,422 points. That comes after the long jump. Tanique Vincent with the best jump in that event at 5.56 meters as the rain come down once more. Costa of Curacao, the second best jump with 5.25 meters. Curie Robley of Trinidad and Tobago, 5.17 meters, was third in that event. Brittany Barron of Jamaica, fourth with 5 meters on the money. Zaza Franz of Curacao was fifth with 4.90 meters. Nesbitt of the Bahamas, 4.81 meters, was sixth. Kisan John, seventh with 4.80 meters. Eighth, Sydney Douglas of Grenada, 4.53 meters. And Montisha St. Bernard of Grenada, 4.29 meters. So that event completed. The javelin under 17 girls completed. The high jump also completed in this morning session. Zavine Bernard equaling her season's best mark of 1.78 meters to get the better of Jakaila Morton, the bronze medalist from last year, who upgrades to silver in 2026 with a new national record of 1.76 meters. And as Terry mentioned when he was on air, that 176 meters is not the national under 20 record alone, it's a national record overall for the British Virgin Islands, courtesy of Jakaila Morton. As we say good morning to those listening in on CBN TV in the British Virgin Islands. Congratulations on your silver medal in the girls under 20 high jump. And third was Alexandria Komalafi of the Bahamas, 1.7 meters. Paris Roll of Bahamas was fourth, her best clearance, 1.65 meters. We also had the sprint hurdles taking place, the under 17 girls, the most recent event to be concluded. Michaela Gordon of Jamaica topping qualifying with 13.45 seconds, ahead of her teammate Tashana Godfrey, 13.51. Sharifa Fernandez, the Farrier of Curacao, 14.24 seconds, comes next. Jayla Smith, the Bahamas, 14.29 into the finals. Chelsea Joseph of Trinidad and Tobago, 14.29 seconds, the fifth fastest in qualifying. Kineve Leping of Martinique, 14.31 seconds. And Tajanique Huggins of St. Kitts and Nevis, 14.53. Tara McLean rounds out the list of qualifiers from Barbados, 15.23 seconds. Bernard, you've seen some of the events this morning. this is the final day of competition of the Carifta Games. What event are you looking forward to most likely? That's the first question. The second question is, what event have you seen since the start of the championships that stands out in your mind?
Undoubtedly, let me start with the what one is looking forward to today. In recent times, we have seen, in my opinion, sort of a shift at our Carifta Games, certainly with the focus in part still on the sprints, but the middle and longer distances are coming to the fore. No longer you see one or two persons or a lane empty and so forth with an 800. I am looking forward to the finals in those 800s today. The whole concept of sprinting 2 laps have changed what the 800 used to be in the past. So it's now a naked sprint for 2 laps. So one is looking forward to that. In terms of the event that would stand out, it has to be, well, there was a lot of expectation coming in. Sharona Douglas, one was expecting Shania Douglas, one was expecting to see that 10 point something. She had a poor start.
Yeah, slipped in the blocks.
Not just a bad start, a poor start. And it was quite obvious the talent of that young lady to come back to win and to win comfortably.
Yeah, certainly many persons disappointed that they didn't get a super fast time from Shania Douglas, but having looked at the replay, I don't think it was a poor start per se. It was that she slipped in the blocks, so maybe a loose block there. Goes back to her run at championships last week, where that was a bad start in my mind, got left in the blocks, still managed to run a sub 11 seconds time. So she'll be back today in the 200 meters final. 22.77 could be on the chopping block, that Shawnee Miller-Weibo record. But the conditions, though, proving to be quite not conducive, for want of a better term, for very good performances on the track. We saw that last evening as well in the 400-meter hurdles. But maybe it will improve as the day gets later, and a potential for not only a sub 23 seconds run in that under 20 girls 200 meters, but potentially a record challenge.
Yes, I share your views there. The conditions, not what you call perfect conditions, but if we are to believe what the meteorologists are saying, the whole weather is supposed to change and change significantly for the better in the latter half of the day. So one is looking forward to some good weather from about 2 o'clock. That's Eastern Caribbean time.
And we do have that big, huge break between the morning and evening session, so that sounds like good news for us.
That's it certainly helps. But in terms of what we can expect later on today, and these are all finals in the afternoon. Of course, this is the third and final day of this meet. And 200 meters. You have a suite of this hurdles, sprint hurdles, and then you have the 4x4 relays. But again, circling all of that, to me, I am looking forward to the 800.
Last evening, Bahamas taking 2 of those sprint relays. Trinidad won, Jamaica won. The 4x4s will be just as exciting. Any predictions you would make at this point, or you wait for at least the heats of the under 17 4x4?
Well, it'll be interesting to wait, but we have seen, certainly I have seen a glimpse of Gordon's influence coming out of Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad has come out in this edition of the Carifta to make a statement. And they have been making a statement in these Cariftas. So I wouldn't count Trinidad out in these 4x4s. I think they would give a serious challenge to the perennial contestants in Jamaica and the Bahamas. Look out for Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, I think
Gordon.
For sure.
Influence.
Definitely, and that's something that has been said over the last probably 5-7 years or so, that the track and field, the athletics coming out of Trinidad has not developed to where it needs to get. Fortunately, on the world scene, Jerome Richards is keeping that hope alive for the Trinidadians, and now good to see Jehu Gordon, the Olympian, adding back, giving back of his time in serving the association there. And as you mentioned, clearly his touch on what is happening to kind of get that growth going once more, because a competitive region makes Carifta Games, for example, very exciting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And right across the entire span of all the events that we would have witnessed so far, there is a new energy coming out of Trinidad and Tobago. And as you rightly said, a strong Trinidad and Tobago makes a huge difference at our Carifta, at our presence on the world stage, and this is what we are looking forward to. Smaller islands, they are catching up. They're doing a lot. We would like to see Dominica, for example, come more to the forefront, but the other islands are certainly catching up big time.
Well, Dominica getting a gold medal last evening through Addison James, the javelin thrower. Wasn't the best conditions to throw in, as you alluded to earlier, but they managed to get that gold. He is the defending champion,
he is.
Addison James, so good to see that they would have medaled. I think as well, there has been some development in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They not only just more athletes coming through at the Carifta Games, they're sending larger teams. They would have had their all-weather track installed about 2 or 3 years now, and that should lend to greater improvement of the sport there. And significantly, something that I think that cannot be overlooked is the improvement in coaching. So coaching education helps, and we have seen that in Jamaica, for example, we have the GC Foster College. They have turned out a number of coaches across multiple disciplines, and you have seen where schools who in the past would not have been competitive or have athletes who would have been competitive in an event, that has now changed because those athletes are benefiting from the improvement in the coaching training, and other Caribbean territories are sending their students here to learn. They're training and studying at the GC Foster College, and they're now imparting that knowledge back in their home territories, and some of that evidence we're seeing even here at these Carifta Games.
Absolutely, and it's a good thing when you can, in fact, look, there is a template coming out of Jamaica that has worked. I mean, there's no second guessing.
Yeah.
This has worked. I mean, you have heard it talk that Jamaica is turning out the printers as if there's a factory. It's not a factory. There is a system that can be copied. There is a template that one can use. One thing that's bothering, though, certainly from my perspective, is the false stats. I've seen it right throughout the year, certainly in Grenada here. You've seen the false stat, not in the traditional events. You expect the adrenaline to be at the top in terms of the short sprints and so on. But you have seen that go right through the 400 meters, the 800, 1,500 meters. What's that? What do you think is attributing to this?
Well, the thing is that, an athlete, what they do on the track is normally what they would have been doing in training. So if you don't address certain things from the training ground, you're likely to make an error when it comes on to competition. And I think if you look globally, most of these athletes, they're trained to understand how to react to the gun, not to react before the gun, but on the gun or after the gun. So maybe that needs to be the case where, there's more time and effort spent on getting athletes to relax and understand how the starting process works so that they don't pick. The issue, though, that I find maybe more general is systems. There in some countries, the systems from time to time are very sensitive in some instances, or sometimes athletes are just not too relaxed, and that causes them to jump the gun before, and you have a number of false starts as a result. So it's a multiplicity of elements that would need to be looked at personnel wise from either the official side, the athlete side, also equipment as mentioned. So it's not just one thing that could be leading to the false starts. I remember Leslie, when he was on air with us last 2 days, he mentioned during your high school championships some weeks ago, there was a number of false starts. Interestingly, that at the end of that broadcast, I think it was Saturday, we were down by the media room, and there were some gentlemen from the defense force outside, and they were having a conversation, and it's the very same thing that came up there because one of the Grenadians, I think 2 Grenadians would have false started earlier in the day, and they said, listen, it's the same thing that happened at the high school championships and it's been repeated here. So clearly in my mind, that's going to be speaking to something that needs to be addressed from the training ground.
You're absolutely correct, because when it comes to elite competition, and certainly this is what Carifta is, you really want to see the best of the best competing.
Because it does take away from the event when, for example, you go back to Daegu 2011 World Championships, you're seeing both favorite to win that 100 meters. False starts out of the race makes way for Johan Blake, the youngest world champion over the 100 meters at that time. But the race would have lost the big name, so
and the build-up.
And the build-up as well. So similarly here at the Carifta Games, when there are rivalries established or matchups expected, and you have a false starts and one of the key persons in that matchup is out, the crowd is like, why did I bother to come here? And that's something that you don't want. So it's something that you really would have to work on from the training ground so that it's not a habit that repeats often or whenever the athlete comes to the competition area.
And you rightly said it, and what you do in your training, what you do when you're practicing, what you do when you are not competing. This is what you put into practice.
Certainly, as we get a live shot there, the competition has resumed now with the long jump for under 17 boys, event number 5. One of the longest records on the card, 7.83 meters by the Caymanian Kareem Street Thompson. And we have 11 competitors. We have gone through flight 1 already. Flight 2 has commenced. We have Randall Monroe of St. Lucia already out to 6.52 meters, but the lead is Michael Paul, the man who won bronze last year in this event. He leads after his first round jump of 6.93 meters ahead of Tall Sean Edwards of Jamaica, 6.58 meters, and as mentioned, that 6.52 by Randall Monroe in round 2 puts him now third. So on the runway, that would have been the Guyanese, Gerald Campbell. He's in 4th at the moment, 6.44 meters, his best mark from round 1. He'll now await his mark for round 2. And that battle between Michael Paul and Talshawn Edwards could be an interesting one. Talshawn Edwards, by the way, would have been over 7 meters already. Paul comes in with this season 6.96 meters, a 7-meter jumper himself.
Yes.
So that battle expected to set the stage for this under 17 boys long jump competition.
Well, 7.83 meters, that old record from since 1989.
Yes.
We would love to see some serious challenge in this, but nobody's close to that this year. Certainly not in this field.
Goes to show you the type of athlete that Kareem Street Thompson is. Has a few records here at the Carifta Games and long-standing records at that. So these are not going to be easy records to break and take.
Again, it says a lot for.
Takes exceptional talent to get to these marks.
Exceptional is put in mildly. This 7.83 would stand out anywhere.
It would, certainly would. Don't have a lot of 8-meter jumpers in the Caribbean at the under 20 level. You have a few. So jumping close to 7.9, 7.8, quite something.
There's a Guyanese competitor there. That's Campbell. run right through.
It's actually Omari Welsh, the second Guyanese, so they jump behind each other.
It is Welsh. These games are under 20, and sometimes the quality that we see in terms of the times and the distances, we forget that this is a competition amongst young people because the standard is so high.
So you're seeing live pictures of the only action taking place at the moment at the Carifta James Athletic Stadium. Carifta Games final day, the long jump for under 17 boys on after brief rain delay.
A bit sparsely populated, but that shouldn't last long. One expect in the afternoon, evening, this to change and change significantly. On the runners, the athletes from Trinidad and Tobago here.
That's Paul, the leader in the competition. Another big jump from him. A 703 meter man himself, as mentioned, 693 already in the competition. Doesn't seem to get the white flag. Seems as if it's a foul for him in round number 2.
His first objective really is to match his season's best of 6.96. And 6.93, that's not very far away.
Now on the runway from Turks and Caicos Islands, that's Dylan Gardner, comes in with a seeded time, or mark rather, of 6.25 meters. Has a glance in the crowd. Turks and Caicos Islands winning gold in the high jump last evening. Under 20 boys. Hall. The white flag goes up for Dylan Gardner of Turks and Caicos Islands.
Let's see what the distance looked like. It's a very interesting layout of these tracks here. In fact, the long jump pit is within touching distance from the spectators.
Makes it easier for the athletes to go across and speak to their coaches. Also brings the fans closer to the action. Not sure if that is a disadvantage.
Well, it's literally touching distance.
Unless you have loud shouts in the stands trying to distract an athlete, then maybe that becomes a problem.
Well, it really gives you a different feel when you're close to the action. Like 6.29?
6.29 meters for the man from Turks and Caicos Islands.
Came in with the season's best of 6.25, so he would have achieved his first objective. This is what you want to do, and then keep progressing. It's a man from Jamaica now.
Next competitor, 409, Talshon Edwards, second in the triple jump. Second at the moment in this long jump. Behind the board, it seems, for Edwards. Gets the white flag. He'll be looking to go over 7 meters, which he has done. Edwards.
As he came into these meets here, the season's best of 7.20 meters.
Jumped 7.02 meters to finish second at champs. Seems to be 6.48 for Edwards.
Modest.
No improvement for him.
But the brakes certainly don't help. You get warm, then you have to literally cool down and then to start all over again.
Vontae Niblet of St. Vincent and the Grenadines goes for his round 2 jump. So confirmation that Michael Paul did in fact foul his second attempt. So Coach Ford of Jamaica, alongside some of his charges, led his high school team to a 4th place overall finish at the high school championships, Immaculate Conception High. On the runway now, though, is Tevon Slater of Grenada, was in that triple jump as well. Finished 7th in that competition.
Very modest season's best of 5.37, but it's all a learning experience. Young man he is. It's under 17.
Crowd happy to have put away most of the umbrellas for now. Sky is clearing up from our vantage point, which is good news for the rest of the morning session at least.
Well, there might be a meteorologist out there who is saying, I told you so.
Slater gets the white flag on his second attempt. His first round effort, 6.12 meters, has him in 6th position.
See, again, this is what you want. You want to see that progression. This is a big meet. You want to surpass his season's best. And he would have done so in his first jump.
So the mark about to be shown, 6.38 meters. So 6.38 meters for Slater. That moves him into 5th position.
It's the right trajectory.
Yes, improvement of 1 spot. Next on the runway from Barbados, Tyrell Clark. Seeded mark of 6.61 meters. Steers down the runway. Now drives down it at full speed. Lovely on the board.
It looks like a foul jump. Let's see.
Looks good on the board, you know. The white flag goes up, so very good use of the board.
It is. And one would have taken some heart from the last Olympic, but the Caribbean did quite well in the field events.
Yes, certainly, as we see some fans from the Bahamas wearing blue today.
They really don't need much to get excited.
They had a fun time last night, I can tell you.
Oh, there's still a hangover from the 2 relay victories.
Yes.
And why wouldn't they?
So Tyrell at the moment had a foul in round 1, so 6 meters on the money. 6.00 meters for him. That puts him just about 8th at the moment in the competition. On the runway now, the final jumper for round 2. That's Caden Miller of the Bahamas. His seeded mark 6.57 meters. Hurries down the runway, gets the red flag foul for him.
Yeah, big foul too it was. Called very early.
So he remained in 9th position.
The Bahamian representative, and that's Pratt. He's up next.
So he has a seeded mark of 6.54 meters. Shea Pratt of the Bahamas. At the moment, he had a foul, 2 fouls as a matter of fact. So similar to Brooklyn Little last evening of Belize, he needs to make it or break it here, and he'll hope that it's the former. Another foul and he's out of the competition. To get into the top 8, he needs 6 meters or better.
Pratt is one of those multi-skilled or event persons. He was in the high jump, wasn't he?
Not that I can recall.
Okay.
Heads down the runway. Behind the board, gets a safe jump. Will that safe jump be good enough? We'll wait and see. The white flag goes up for him.
He came in jumping and jumping quite well. 6.54, sees his best. See what he brings to the table here. At the end of the first round of jumping.
So the mark about to be shown for Shea Pratt. No improvement for him, 5.55 meters. So he'll exit the competition. Just not good enough. Maybe the conditions, that mark, just not good enough as mentioned to get him into the top 8.
Yeah, it's a wet track.
This man was in the high jump. Randall of St. Lucia. He's currently sitting in the bronze medal position with a best of 6.52 meters.
It's not unusual to have.
Behind the board again, safe jump for him. Not too happy though.
He would have missed the board completely. So it's not unusual to have jumpers doing both high jump and long jump.
Or long jump, triple jump, or long jump sprint hurdles.
Yeah. It's quite common actually.
So missed the medal. He was expected to medal in the high jump last evening, on the first day of competition. And not able to get that medal. Was 4th. He's in the bronze medal position now and want to at least stay there to secure a medal.
Yeah, one recall 3 years ago now, might have been 3 or 4 years ago, Javelin Harrison coming out of the US and the NCAAs, he had some difficulty deciding where he wanted to land.
Ended up doing both.
Ended up doing both.
6.04, you said, Bernard, for Monroe, so no improvement for him. The 6.52 from round 2, sufficient to keep him in that bronze medal position at the moment, as we see Jarrell Campbell next on the runway, the man from Guyana. They've been having a decent championships, and hopefully...
Oh, I would have thought they had a very good first day.
Very, very good first day. 3 gold medals. 3 very good gold medals. One had a record, the 4x4 mixed. Storms down the runway. Little behind the board. Gets out of the pit quickly. White flag raised for him. His mark registered so far has him in 4th position, 6.44 meters. Seeded mark, none coming in.
These are young men. Just as a reminder, you're looking at the boys long jump at under 17. Did I get a reading? Uh, 6.12.
The second of the 2 Guyanese on the runway now. That's Omari Welch. He's lying in 7th position with 6.06 meters. That's his best. Natural focus here, trying to block out all the distractions. Omari Welch, going his under 17 long jump final. If you're just joining our coverage here of the Carifta Games 2026, the 53rd staging of the Carifta Games, welcome to the broadcast. We had a slight rain delay, but we continue with the under 17 boys long jump. Again, just the tip of his toe making its way on the board.
And I tell you something, the scheduling of these events to have a showcase at this time, it's a good thing for the sport. It's not all about track. The field competitive. They have been doing well. They've been raising the flag right across the world.
6.14 meters then for Omari Welch. He remains in 7th position, but it's an improvement on his previous best mark of 6.06 meters. As the camera pans on the leader in the competition, that's Michael Paul of Trinidad and Tobago. 6.93 meters is lead, done in round number 1. Had a foul in round number 2 with what appeared to be a huge jump as well.
I still think he remains the odds-on favorite to win this event.
So 7.03 at his best, Paul. Storms down the runway. Lovely use of the board there. They're going to take a look. Maybe a red flag. Said this last evening. The 2 times before now that I've seen the official go across to check the replay of the jump where the leg lands or the foot lands on the board, comes up with a red flag, and there he goes again. 3rd time in a row.
And the way it is done to ensure having a look on the camera, this is ensuring that you get this right. Well,
so he's nearing a big one again. Michael Paul just need to get that foot better on the board. The fact, though, that the officials have to be looking at the review of it shows how close to perfection he is on the board.
He came in as one of the favorites, and must be the pressure of Edwards that's getting to him.
Dylan Gardner next of Turks and Caicos Islands. He's on the runway now. His best mark so far, 6.29 meters. He's in 6th position.
He's going in the right trajectory. He has been improving.
5.85, 6.29. What will he give us here in round number 3? It's the 3rd round of the under 17 boys long jump final. We have had the under 20 girls high jump concluded, the javelin for under 17 girls concluded, the sprint hurdle semifinals. So under 20 boys, under 20 girls, and under 17 girls, under 17 boys appears to be a straight final as Gardner runs down the runway behind the board once more, flat on his stomach in the sand.
He didn't take the assist. That doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen. We also had the conclusion of the long jump in the girls' heptathlon competition. So it has been quite the morning so far, quite active. It's a short session, but at the same time we have had a rain delay as well. The rain for the most part has subsided.
One is expecting some 5-point-something meters. It really wasn't a big jump.
6.18 meters for Gardner, no improvement for him. And a replay there of Michael Paul's jump. Kind of hard to say if he touched the plasticine from this angle, but I'll tell you this, that was almost perfect use of the board from the Trinidadian.
Well,
Talshawn Edwards on the runway in 2nd at the moment. 6.58 meters is best.
Sydney had the benefit of the replay. Ruled that a foul. With the naked eyes, it represents that differently, sort of. Here's Edwards.
Behind the board once more for Edwards. He won't be too happy with that jump.
It's quite unlikely it's an improvement on his 6.48. Let's see.
Getting sand on the official as well. He has a bright smile on his face though. I guess that's one of the things with the pit being so close to the stands and not a lot of space in between for officials to stand. So I guess that's the only downside, Bernard.
Well, the jumpers might tell you this is exactly what they wanted to get back at the officials. So let's see what Edwards would have come up with here.
6.51 meters. It comes back at not an improvement for him. Get the feeling that if he starts making use of the board, he'll get a better mark to challenge Michael Paul of Trinidad and Tobago, who has had 2 jumps ruled fouls that appear to be massive jumps, at least from our angle. The man from St. Vincent and the Grenadines now on the runway. He has 2 fouls in the competition. That's Evante Niblet. Is this a safe jump for him now?
Very,
it is.
Very conservative jump. He wanted to get a mark on. He wanted to keep his names in the competition, and he would have done so here.
Well, let's see, because if he doesn't jump further than 6 meters, he's not going to advance or continue in the competition. 8th place at the moment is 6.00 meters, that by Tyrrell Clark of Barbados.
I think he would be challenged to get a 6 meters. Let's see.
It's not good enough. 5.4.
Yeah.
5.49 meters. So he registers a mark in the competition, which is good for him. He'll definitely be able to improve and come back next time around. Young Niblet of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 5.49. He'll end in 11th position.
Yeah. Harry Slater next.
Tevon Slater now of Grenada. 7th in the triple jump final. Currently lying in 5th position. 6.38 meters is best. Behind the board again, Bernard.
Yeah. There seems to be a game of inches who can get closest behind the board. Not utilizing the assistance that the board gives.
One of the things that you notice from time to time with the younger athletes is that when it comes on to the long jump or triple jump, they're both horizontal jumps, is that they tend to look down when they get close to the board, as opposed to some of our senior professional athletes that they know the number of steps most of the time to the board. So by the time they're expected to be at the board, they're on the board almost sometimes to perfection, or at least the middle part of the board is caught to get them a good jump using its assistance. But the juniors, not yet for the most part at that point. 6.12 meters the mark for Slater, so no improvement for him. He remained in 5th position. So it takes time for athletes to learn how to do that, and that could potentially be one of the reasons that's impacting some of these athletes jumping from behind the board.
Yes, it's all about getting into work, and it's not a usual thing to have jumping meets. It's easier to have a running meet here and there. Heck, here's the athlete here.
Tyrrell Clark of Barbados, he's in 8th position. Only one athlete can leapfrog him at this point. He gets the white flag. Caden Mill of the Bahamas can leapfrog him. He's in 9th. Clark is in 8th.
Clark is in 8th at 6 meters. Almost on a dime. Yeah, it would be good to see some meets that just concentrate on field events, because you need the practice. You need to have these competitions and performing on some sort of a competition to get used to. In the long jump, for example, hitting the boards.
6.18 meters, so an improvement for Clark in round number 3. That puts him to 7th position now. So Omari Welsh of Guyana at 6.14 meters will now have to hope that Caden Miller of the Bahamas doesn't go beyond 6.14 meters. And Miller of Bahamas, he's now on the runway for his 3rd round attempt. 5.89 meters he has done so far. Prior to Terrell's last jump, it was a easier task to potentially maneuver. Needed 11 centimeters to get to 6 meters. Now he needs much more than that. He needs to go beyond 6.14 meters. 6.15 or better, and he's in the top 8.
Yeah, we mentioned before that these jumpers tend to jump in pairs or triplets. Miller is a triple jumper also.
Fifth in the triple jump, Caden Miller. 6.43, his personal best. Seeded mark 6.57, likely wind aided or no wind indicated. Looks down the runway.
This is to get into the finals.
That's
It's a foul
out.
jump, a big foul jump. So there's no improvement here.
So Miller ends with one legal mark, 5.89 meters. So we know our top 8 after 3 rounds of jumping in this under 17 boys long jump final. Michael Paul of Trinidad and Tobago, 6.93 meters, leads them all. Tal Sean Edwards of Jamaica, 6.58 meters in second. Randall Monroe of St. Lucia's in third at 6.52 meters. Fourth, Jarrell Campbell of Guyana, 6.44 meters. Fifth, Tevon Slater of Grenada, 6.38 meters. Sixth is Dylan Gardner of the Turks and Caicos Islands at 6.29 meters. Seventh, Terrell Clark of Barbados, 6.18 meters. And eighth, Omari Welsh of Guyana, his best mark, 6.14 meters. Those are the top 8. They'll be afforded a further 3 jumps in competition here in the under 17 boys long jump action.
Yeah, interesting to note right at the top of the top 3. They are no runaway leader. So this is going to be quite competitive in the end. Certainly among the top 3 as it presents now.
So you'll have a little break in competition for the officials to do the reordering of the athletes. Of course, they're jumping in reverse order from 8th to 1st for the next 3 rounds.
Yeah, we were talking briefly just now in terms of how many of the young men are missing the board. Of course, it's under 17, but competition is what gives you the confidence to take that extra leap. And really, there's a need. There's something that is shouting out to get some more competition amongst these certainly jumpers. Period. The triple jump, high jump, long jump. Whereas it's more common, you would see track meets.
Yeah, the field events tend to get overlooked mostly. It's a very interesting topic because for the most part, a track event, it's one race and that's it. For field events, you have multiple rounds. If it's the horizontal jumps, for example, or the throws, and for the vertical jumps, it could go on forever. I was making the point yesterday with the pole vault in the decathlon at the World Championships and the Olympics. For the past 2 major championships, 2024 and 2025, the pole vault on the Sunday morning tends to go up until almost the start of the evening session on the same day. So most persons, if they don't love the sport, they're not going to sit around to watch that unless, of course, there's a potential for a record, and that doesn't happen so often for the multis. Maybe if Mondo Duplantis is jumping, though, everybody's going to remain in the stands as we see a furry visitor there.
Yeah, there's a friendly wag of the tail, so yeah. I guess all is well. But I think it was at the Olympics in Japan where we had a tie at the
Tambiri and Mustafa Bashim.
That was some competition.
It was.
It was. One had to be glued and fixed to your TV screen looking at that competition. So really, for the people who like the sport, it's the best thing. But there's still some work to be done to get more people, more spectators, more fans involved in these field events.
Yeah, and what some countries have started to do, and I know, for example, in Jamaica, the throwers, they have created a series of meets that they have just throwing events, and that has a large following as well. Maybe for persons who are interested in seeing the other events in the field, they could do something similar. But it does take investment. It does take someone to love the sport enough to separate the field, or to give more prominence to the field events than as opposed to what they get when it's twinned with the track events. And I, as an announcer, sometimes get the stick for failing to give prominence to the field events. But that's a discussion for another day, I tell you.
I've heard those accusations.
It's not the easiest thing when you have so many track events going back to back to back, and you can hardly get a chance to focus on the field events. As you see here at the Carifta Games, we are now able to give more attention to the field events just because of how the schedule is. So that helps as well.
Yes, it does. You see, foundation is important, and you will attend these meets of primary schools and pre-primary schools. There are absolutely no jumping events. It just doesn't exist, and it has to start.
It has to start.
That's
from
where
here.
that's where the level has. This is where it has to start from. You start those young people, those very young people, jumping. Whether it's, as we used to call it in the old days, broad jump. Get interested. They have started it in terms of the javelin and the discus with throwing a cricket ball.
Yeah.
So at least there is some introduction. Where the jump that's almost totally vacant.
So you're tuning into live coverage of the 53rd staging of the Carifta Games right here in St. George's, Grenada. It's the fourth time that the country of Grenada is hosting the games, 2000, 2016, 2024, and now in 2026. I was told the last time it was held here in 2024, it rained some of the days as well.
Yes, we like to term it showers of blessing. If things goes according to plan today, we would have had enough of those blessings for the rest of the meet.
Certainly so, as we are going to get the restart of the under 17 boys long jump. The reordering has been completed, and the man from Guyana, Omari Welch, will start things off. 6.14 meters, his best so far. That was achieved in the previous round number 3. So he's heading in the right direction, Omari Welch.
So you'll be treated at 24 jumps, and this really should put a lid on their activities on the track and on the field for this morning session and this final day.
We're still awaiting word as to whether the 4x400 meters for under 17 boys heats will still be run. We had 9 teams declared for that heat.
It's going to be quite interesting.
Usually from time to time you will have a team dropping out. We saw, interestingly, last evening with the 4x1 for under 20 boys, as we await Omari Welch. I'll say that after. Omari Welch of Guyana comes down the runway, first jump in round number 4. Good use of the board.
Good use of the board.
Improvement for him. He'll get the white flag. He's shaking his head though, as to say that not too happy with it.
Well, his best jump to date is 6.14.
He'll be hoping for an improvement to trouble the medals. He'll need 6.53 or greater. That's the mark that has Randall Monroe of St. Lucia in 3rd.
Canadian General Insurance Company Limited, KFC, Digicel.
The mark about to be shown for Omari Welch as we get round number 4 actions. It's 5.74 meters, it appears. So that's not an improvement for him.
Yeah, he's going in the wrong direction. It's 5.74.
5.74. So that won't affect anyone else in the competition. Tyrrell Clarkton of Barbados had that improved jump in round number 3 at 6.18 meters. He's on the runway to take his round number 4 jump. I remember to make the point about the 4x1 last evening after the conclusion of Tyrrell's jump.
It's good use of the board too.
Very good use of the board. The official
Didn't seem to get much distance, no height. He has a season's best of 6.61. So we know he has the talent and certainly the capacity to improve on his 6.14.
and that 6.61 is also his personal best as well. So the point I was making regarding the 4x1 is that they had heats for the 4x1 under 20 boys yesterday afternoon, but in the final, one team did not show that would have qualified from the heats. So it goes to show that certain things are a little fluid as well, and we're waiting for confirmation of whether the 4x4 for under 17 boys, which should have been 2 heats, as we had 9 teams declared, and we're waiting to see if that will be run. Chances are maybe there's 8 teams reporting or less than the 9 teams declared reporting at the call room, and that would mean that we'll go to a straight final.
Oh, I think I missed the mark for Clark.
Oh, Clark's mark, dead on 6 meters, 6.00 meters. That would be a fall though for the man from Turks and Caicos, Dylan Gardner. Well over the board.
Yeah, well, Clark didn't improve.
Neither did Tyrrell.
So the first 3 jumpers in this final round, they have not done themselves any better coming into these final jumps.
No, the
Man from Grenada is up next. That's Slater.
yes, Slater. He's in 5th position at the moment. 6.38 meters is best. Looking to bring some further joy to Grenada at these championships. 1 gold medal to their name, the host team,
Yeah, but they went to bed smiling last night, I would think.
with that bronze in the 4x4. Also got bronze in the high jump as well last evening. The target 6.53 or better. Behind the board once more. Not generating a lot of lift though. The momentum is good coming down the board for these jumpers, Bernard, but no lift.
He'll be challenged to get a better jump here.
That's going to be very... Seems as if he leaned back because that mark is much closer to the edge of the pit.
Oh, this is a 5.
So it's not going to be an improvement for Tevon Slater of Grenada, who since his second round attempt at 6.38 has repeated 6.12 meters, which he did in the first round, and again in the third round. This looks like a 4. Official having a nice time, their warm time, 4.72. It's 4.72 meters for Slater of Grenada.
This is where you take the deliberate foul to keep that 4.72 off the books.
Now on the runway, Gerald Campbell of Guyana sits outside the medals, 6.44 meters, 8 centimeters off 6.52. And based on his count back, if he jumps 6.52, he will be in the bronze position. He gets the lift this time, though.
Yeah, but behind
Gerald
the board
Campbell.
again.
And he's not happy about that, but
It's a better jump.
it is a better jump from his last one at 6.12. Will it go up to the 6.44, though, that he did in round 1? I was making the point that if Campbell goes up to 6.52 meters, which is the same as Randall Monroe of St. Lucia, he'll be in the bronze medal position by virtue of countback 6.33, 6.12, as opposed to Randall's 6.04 and 5.19. Not sure what is happening here. field referee having a look at something. And in the wings, the man Randall Monroe, who sits in the bronze medal position, awaits his turn.
Well, seems to be something with the measuring tape.
It seemed like it would have tore from the stick.
It couldn't be that serious. Somebody's having a laugh about something. But in the meantime, you're not missing any action, neither on the track nor the field, because we're in a slight holding pattern to get a final score of that last jump. And we're still waiting on official words as to what happens with the scheduled heats, the 4x4 under 17 boys.
So still waiting for that measurement to be taken as they look to get a replacement measurement tape measure. One has come to the fore now.
I think the debate is, should we have a new starting mark or get a brand new tape? The result should be the same.
Well, not necessarily, because implements are supposed to be certified. So I think that may be the concern that they're having.
You're absolutely correct there.
They're going to go with a regular tape measure, but if a record happens, they're going to need to get a steel tape involved. I want to say a good morning to persons tuning into the broadcast across the Caribbean region and across the globe. Cable Bahamas out of the Bahamas, CBC TV in Barbados, CBN TV of the British Virgin Islands, GBN TV right here in Grenada, Television Jamaica TVJ in Jamaica, Helen TV in St. Lucia, and of course our wider international audiences using the various digital streaming platforms, FloTrack if you're in the USA or Canada, or on the World Athletics platforms. Say a good morning to you. It's the third and final day of the Carifta Games 2026, the 53rd staging. The NACAC Congress also ongoing. We'll hear momentarily or sometime later on today who the next host of the games will be. We'll also have the Austin Celia awardee later on tonight at the end of the games. A few names already in contention. The man Tariq Vincent in the decathlon, 6,824 points, which is the tied third best
in the world.
Mark in the world this year. So that puts him in the conversation. Tyra Fenton of Antigua and Barbuda has already earned 2 medals of the 3 she's trying to earn. Bronze in the 400, which was her pet event, 1 gold last year, 1 gold in the 100. She has a 200 later on. 6.19 meters for Jarrell Campbell of Guyana. So no improvement for him, but he continues to keep a consistent series.
Yeah.
Wait now to see if there's going to be any other athlete who puts themselves in the conversation by the end of the night's proceedings.
We certainly would have had some good showings. And the conversation will continue around the multidisciplinary athletes. It's not the easiest thing to do at that level.
It's not, as we see Randall Monroe, St. Lucia on the runway. 6.52 meters is best, keeps him in the bronze medal position. He's looking for an improvement. Talshon Edwards in sight, but that won't do it. He gets the white flag nonetheless. Thought he was good on the board, but just never generated any lift.
He aborted his run almost as he got to the board. Just ended up walking through.
Talshawn Edwards, the man in the silver medal position at the moment, he'll go next.
And maybe Edwards is his biggest challenger to our current leader from out of Trinidad and Tobago. That's Paul.
And Bernard, confirmation coming that the boys under 17 4x400 meters relay is now a straight final. So the boys under 17 long jump competition is the final action on this morning session.
It's a short session, but very competitive short session.
It is. This is Talshawn Edwards of Jamaica, silver medalist in the triple jump, turning to the crowd asking for their support. Sometimes when I see athletes do this, the crowd sometimes just doesn't clap in the same rhythm. And sometimes the rhythm that they started with, which is correct, ends up changing to a different rhythm as he motors down the runway. Good on the board here for Edwards.
Full use of the board. And that's what we want to see.
Gets the white flag, turns back. He has a look at the officials. He looks at the mark.
Didn't get a lot of height or lift, but certainly in terms of the usage of the board.
Having a word with his coach at the moment. He'll be hoping for an improvement on his 6 meters and 58 as Michael Paul waits in the background. Off the shot, the Trinidadian leads the competition with 6.93 meters done on his first attempt. He has had 2 falls since. It's a big one for Edwards, it would appear.
Well, he's certainly has walked away looking happy.
6.52 meters, so it's not an improvement. 6 centimeters less than his best mark of 6.58 meters. So a consistent series for Talshawn Edwards. 6.58, 6.48, 6.51, and 6.52. This is the leader in the competition, Michael Paul of Trinidad and Tobago.
It's sick with 6.93. Here's Paul.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's going to stay 6.93. In fact, his last 3 jumps, they've all been fall jumps.
Falls. That one, he thought to himself that, hey, I'm still leading the competition. Let me just waste this jump. But it seemed as if something was off in that run, the latter part of that run towards the board for Paul, and just decided to run through instead.
Yeah, somebody's keeping scores and to conserve the energy maybe for the final jump.
And getting a message here that with regard to athletes asking for support from the fans, some athletes choose not to get that support. It can be a distraction for them. So I guess it depends on what you feel for.
Yeah, sometimes you're so zoned in, you don't want any distraction whatsoever.
This is round number 5 about to begin. Omari Welch of Guyana, 6.14 meters, his best mark still. That came in round number 3. Down the runway he goes. Good use of the board as well. But he's not happy. Hands on head.
Looks like
Gets a white flag. I'll tell you this, if it's a foul, the red flag is going to go up immediately. Or if you see the official starts walking across to look at that replay, it's likely going to be judged a foul. So Welch is waiting for his mark to be measured. But similar to the previous round, where it had measured 5.74, that mark there that is being measured appears to be an indentation that he made with his hand.
Oh, I think you are correct. Like, that's not a long distance here.
So the mark for Omari Welch comes back at 4.91 meters. So
I think you're absolutely correct in terms of where the measuring, what constituted the measuring point. It must have been his hands.
Which explains why immediately he put his hands on his head. As we see the Barbadian Tyrrell Clark getting ready for his 5th round jump. Round number 5 of action, the boys under 17 long jump competition.
No, it just doesn't look right here.
Yeah, something went off with the run. He was in full speed, appeared to have eased up a bit, and then last minute decided, well, I'm going to just take off.
Yeah, it wasn't a smooth technical competence in the jump as one is used to with long jumpers. These young men probably getting tired.
It's a possibility as well.
There's the man from Turks and Caicos now.
Dylan Gardner. He's in the 6th position. 6.29 meters. Still his best mark. That came in round number 2. He has had 5.85 meters and 6.18 meters as well, plus a foul in the previous round. Clark, by the way, would have fouled his 5th round attempt.
Here's Gardner.
Behind the board once more for Gardner of Turks and Caicos Islands.
I think he'd be challenged to get a better jump than his 6.29. Certainly doesn't look it with the naked eyes.
He awaits the measurement now.
This is day number 3, 53rd Carifta Games.
6.22 meters for Gardner, not an improvement though. So he remained in 6th position.
6.22. It's a better mark than a pair with the naked eyes though.
Tevon Slater of Grenada, he goes next in 5th. Remind you, the medal position 6.93, 6.58 and 6.52 meters. Those are the marks that the competitors have that have placed them in the medal positions. Paul, Edwards and Monroe, 1st to 3rd respectively.
So Slater has to do better than 6.38, which is his best jump for the day, if he wants to get in on amongst those medals. It's not good enough to be close.
He'll want to give the early morning fans something to cheer about here. Slater. Good use of the board. Got some distance as well. You can hear some cheers in the background as well. Gets the white flag.
It's a much better jump. Much better jump.
So Slater, 6.38 meters as mentioned. At least he'll want to jump or go further like 6.45, which would take him into 4th position, or 6.53, which would move him into the bronze medal position.
Really, it is a game of inches in the end.
So he goes 6.22 meters as well.
6.22, no improvement there from his best jump.
And that was the same mark as Gardner from Turks and Caicos Islands on the previous jump. What will Jarrell Campbell do? This is his 5th round attempt, 6.44 meters, sitting outside the medals at the moment, 8 centimeters behind. 3rd place at the moment is Jarrell Campbell of Guyana.
Campbell has been jumping 6 or 6 about right throughout. Let's see what he does here. It's a matter of getting into the medals. It's a penultimate jump.
Behind the board again for Campbell. The white flag raised for him.
Had some height, so let's see where he landed. Doesn't look too pleased though. It's an indication that maybe he didn't think it was enough.
So 6.43 meters for Campbell. 1 centimeter off his best mark to date, which is 6.44.
Certainly looked better than it. It measured better than it looked.
Now the man in the bronze medal position, Randall Monroe of St. Lucia. Sure Terry Finisterre is somewhere close by.
6.52. He can consolidate his position here, going better than 6.52. St. Lucia is up next.
Monroe down the runway, behind the board, but got some distance with that jump. 4th place finisher in the high jump competition. He gets the white flag as well. He wants more than 652.
Looks a good jump. In terms of distance, you really want to keep that momentum. It's one jump to come.
Get that tape measure as straight and flat as possible.
It is a game of inches in the end. Still do the old-fashioned way. Oh, it's a big one.
6.60 meters for Monroe. Puts him in the silver medal position at the moment.
It's a big one. St. Lucia.
He leapfrogs Talshon Edwards of Jamaica, who is now on the runway.
Mm-hmm.
Moving up into the silver medal position. One final up to the on the 74 long jump. Jamaica's up next.
It's a man from Jamaica, Edwards now. He's up next. Still leads the competition though.
Well, he's in third now.
Third position now.
Remember the Trinidadian leads.
Yes, that's Paul.
Picture of focus is Edwards psyching himself up as he gets ready to go down the runway. He knows that he's now in the bronze medal position and occupied the silver medal position since round 1.
Yeah, he needs a big one.
Gets the height here, gets some sand in the air as well.
Well,
gets the white flag, which is most important, but will it put him back in the silver or gold medal position?
He had a bit of the board too. So that amounts to technically a good jump. Competition is heating up here. The sand pit of the long jump for boys under 17. It's a final competition for the morning session. So somebody's happy.
He's having a time. The mark about to be shown. 6.71 meters. And Tashawn Edwards of Jamaica goes back into that silver medal position.
It is a big one. The competition is heating up here.
Would love to see Randall Monroe's reaction here as you await Michael Paul's 5th round jump.
Well, Michael Paul needs any jump. He just needs a legal jump.
Yeah, no legal marks since his first attempt, that 6.93. Sometimes all you need is just that one big jump.
It's a game of inches.
And Michael Paul asking for the support of the spectators here.
There is Paul.
Many have stayed this morning to support the long jumpers in this under 17 final.
There's your leader.
Behind the board, it's a safe jump though, and it looks big too.
Safe jump at a big distance behind the board.
Gets the white flag.
This would be enough for him going into his last jump. This is confident booster here. Just to get something. Anything. Let's see if he has extended his lead. Remember, he's sitting at 6.93.
Not able to see here.
So all the sixes.
6.66 for Michael Paul registers another legal mark.
So he maintained his lead, didn't extend it. But he's still our leader.
So that ends round number 5. Round number 6 about to get on the way. The final round of the under 17 boys long jump competition. This is Omari Welch of Guyana. His last 2 jumps have been below 6 meters. 6 meters and 14 at 6.14 meters, his best mark to date.
This is a do or die. He had an obvious error with his hand in the last jump. It's a bit of a control now. There is Guyana.
Looks better. Still not happy though. White flag comes up.
No. He's not a happy camper. He'll be challenged to improve on his 6.14.
So he wants to move up. But based on that reaction, let's see if he does. 6 meters on the money. 6.00. So Omari Welch of Guyana will end in 8th position with a best of 6.14 meters.
How is the man from Barbados? That's Clark.
Tyrrell Clark, 6.18 meters. That mark came in round number 3. He's in 7th position. Well outside the medals now.
I was very unhappy with his last jump. Let's see if there's any improvement here.
But I tell you this, if he jumps his personal best of 6.61 meters, he'll be in the bronze medal position. This is Clark, speeding down the runway. Goes right through this time, but over the board. Red flag goes for him, so he'll not be able to improve his best in this competition. He ends with 6.18 meters and a 7th place finish at these Carifta Games.
And again, he looked technically ruffled right at the end of his run. He's slowing down considerably and ended up fouling his last jump.
The man from Turks and Caicos Islands, Dylan Gardner, sitting in the 6th position at the moment. 6.29 meters, done in round number 2. He's next on the runway. The final round of jumping, boys under 17 long jump. It's by my watch midday here in Grenada.
This midday, he has been fairly consistent. Let's see if there's any improvement here.
Behind the board.
Way behind the board. That's not going to cut it.
White flag goes up for him.
And as you alluded to earlier, he is jumping with his eyes on the board. He had that big look down and he missed it.
We have seen some interesting last-minute efforts already at these games. Will we be seeing something exciting in this boys under 17 long jump? 5.72 meters then for Gardner of the Turks and Caicos Islands.
Yes, it does reflect the technical cumbersome execution in the end there.
Now Tevon Slater, Grenada's medal hope in this competition. He's in 5th position. He has to jump 6.61 or better to be in a medal position.
Or do better than 6.38 to come out walking, not with a medal, but with head high.
Good use of the board for the Grenadian.
Got a bit of a height too.
White flag goes up for him.
This should be in and around the 6.3, 6.4 mark, one would think.
The final round of jumping. Tevon Slater of Grenada, the most recent jumper, about to get his mark. 5.97 meters.
Oh, that's a rare.
So
difference
he'll
in the
finish
wrong
in 5th
direction.
position. So from 8 through to 5, that's 8th position to the 5th position. No changes there coming into round number 6. No changes after they would have jumped. Now, Gerald Campbell of Guyana, the only man that can disturb the youngsters who have been holding the medal position since round 1. Will Gerald Campbell be given an invitation to get into the medal party?
Well, he had a good jump of 6.44 earlier.
He'll need much more than that on this final round. 6.61 meters or better.
He's getting some assistance from his competitor too.
Here comes Campbell. Oh, that's a foul.
That's a big foul.
So, invitation rescinded for Gerald Campbell of Guyana. He'll end in 4th position with 6.44 meters as his best. So we now know the medalists. The question is, what colors will they get? Randall Monroe of St. Lucia, Talshawn Edwards of Jamaica, and Michael Paul of Trinidad and Tobago are the medalists in the under-17 boys long jump competition. They'll have their final jumps coming up now to determine the color of those medals. This is Randall Monroe, St. Lucia.
Best jump of 6.60. St. Lucia's on the clock.
Which was a previous round as well, Bernard.
And he looked good in his last jump. Monroe did.
So he goes one place higher than he finished in the high jump, giving St. Lucia another medal.
The land of Julian Alfred.
So that will give St. Lucia their 4th medal, I believe, of the games. They have a suite of medals, 1 gold, 1 silver, 1 bronze. Behind the board for the Lucian, Monroe.
Yeah, that doesn't look to be an improvement on his 6.60. Let's get a confirmation, but he's not happy. He's not happy with it. So that probably story right there.
So the bronze medal potentially confirmed for Monroe as we wait the official reading of the mark for him in round number 6.
Yeah, I think congratulations are in order for Monroe. Bronze medalist. The boys long jump under 17. It's a confirmation of the final mark. But the color of the medal is already secured.
2 more jumpers to come in this under 17 boys long jump final. So Monroe needs 6.72 or better. It's 6.25. So Randall Monroe of St. Lucia, the bronze medalist, that has been confirmed in the under 17 boys long jump final. Talshon Edwards of Jamaica, he'll go next. He needs 6.94 meters or better to displace Michael Paul of Trinidad and Tobago from that gold medal position. And Paul also has his jump to come as well. So whatever Talshon does here, if he goes beyond 6.93, Paul will have a chance to respond.
This is his last chance for gold. Last chance for gold. Here's Edwards.
Has a silver medal already in the triple jump. Good use of the board, gets the height as well.
It's a good jump.
The white flag goes up.
Oh, I think we have a competition here.
But his body language is not telling me, though, whether he believes it's a big jump.
I think we have some competition here.
The last one, 6.71.
It's Edwards. Remember, he's a 7 feet jumper.
The mark has been measured. As we await what that mark is, 6.58 meters. So silver again for Talshon Edwards, which means that the gold medal designate for the under-17 boys long jump, who is on the runway now, is Michael Paul of Trinidad and Tobago. Says a prayer, has his hands on his head. He knows he has won it, 6.93 meters. What will he give us here in the final round of the under-17 boys long jump final? Only 2 legal marks, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that one of them has given him the gold.
Yeah, so the pressure is off. This is for the glory now. Really it is. Your leader, your gold medalist boys under 17 from out of Trinidad and Tobago. It's Michael Paul.
Down the runway, high knees, behind the board.
Way behind the board.
Lovely lift, gets the white flag.
This is not going to be an improvement.
And the mark for Talshon Edwards, 6.68 meters in the system, not 6.58 that we saw on the board. But nonetheless, it still confirms silver for him. Gold confirmed now for Michael Paul of Trinidad and Tobago. Gets his flag immediately. And that will end the competition in the under-17 boys long jump here on day number 3, the final event of the morning session.
I think this was a very good show. I think it was a good showcase of field events, a good showcase of long jumping among young.
As we see, 6.15 meters
6.15.
confirmed for Michael Paul of Trinidad and Tobago. He's your gold medalist. Your medalists again, Michael Paul, gold, 6.93 his best. Talshon Edwards of Jamaica, 6.71 in second for the silver. And in third for the bronze, Randall Monroe of St. Lucia, his best, 6.60 meters.
Yeah, they have been the best jumpers in the day. St. Lucia, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago. Bronze, silver, and gold. It's a win-win all around.
It is. So that concludes activity on the track and in the field for day 3, the morning session. Of course, we come back later on with action in the afternoon session here inside the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Let's give you an idea as to the events to expect later on. We'll have the discus throw final for under 20 girls. The sprint hurdles finals will also be on show. The boys pole vault open event will be in the field. The under 17 girls triple jump comes up as well. The boys under 20 shot put event will be there. We'll have the 2 final events in the girls heptathlon competition. First the javelin, and then of course the 800 meters. We'll also have the 800 meters final. We'll also have Special Olympic 200 meters races for girls and boys. The triple jump under 20 boys will also be on the cards, as well as the under 17 discus throw finals for boys and the 4x400 meters relay. We'll also have the 5,000 meters open for under 20, 5,000 meters for under 20 boys, which will come just before the 4x4 100 meters relay that closes the show. And that's what things will look like in this afternoon session. The resumption time for competition, 3:15 p.m. local time. That's about 3 hours away from now. So a lot of persons will be heading over to the cultural village momentarily. But Bernard, before we jump out of here, I'm going to wait to see if Clyde will be getting to speak to Michael Paul of Trinidad and Tobago, who just won gold in the long jump. But in the meantime, quick recap of what took place in the morning session. The javelin throw for under 17 girls. Shamanda Wilmot with her final throw, 46.39 meters,
And a good
winning
throw
the
it
gold.
was. Right at the last throw.
And she would have won ahead of Zanique Charles of Antigua and Barbuda, who came in as the defending champion. She ended with 46.27 meters, which was achieved on her first throw. Interestingly, Wilmot's first throw, 42.70, and Charles's last throw, 42.28 meters. Neaviv Matrona of Curacao won bronze in the javelin as well, behind Charles and Wilmot. In the under 20 girls javelin throw competition, Zavine Bernard of Jamaica, 1.78 meters, equaled her season's best in the high jump to take gold ahead of the British Virgin Islands like Jacqueline Morton, who also broke the national record with that clearance at 1.76 meters. And Alexandria Komalafi of the Bahamas, 1.70 meters, got the bronze. The other events on the morning, we had the sprint hurdles for under 17 girls. Michaela Gordon topping qualifying with 13.45 seconds. Tashana Godfrey of Jamaica, Sharifa Fernandez Defari of Curacao, Jayla Smith of the Bahamas, Chelsea Joseph of Trinidad and Tobago, Kinvi Leping of Martinique, Tajanique Huggins of St. Kitts and Nevis, and Tiara McLean are also the other finalists in the under 17 girls 100-meter hurdles. On the track just now on the screen, you would have just seen the first section of the under 20 girls 100-meter hurdles. Tiana Marshall leading all in qualifying, the defending champion. This is her teammate, Akila Bell. She's second fastest at 13.62 going into that final. But Tiana Marshall below 13 seconds this season. Jenna Marie Thomas of Trinidad and Tobago, who took bronze in the 400-meter hurdles last evening, also makes it through to the final. Sophia Swindle of the U.S. Virgin Islands is in the final. So too is Alika Herwood of Barbados, and Afia Greenwich also of Barbados. Jasmine Thompson of the Bahamas, and Hughes Gomez of Trinidad and Tobago, the other finalists in the under 20 girls 100-meter hurdles. The boys, on the other hand, the under 20 boys 110-meter hurdles, we see Gibson in this shot on the inside from Jamaica, was second fastest in qualifying. He went ahead of the man from Guadeloupe, Pierrick Joseph, in section 1, and just behind him Omari Brown, or rather the man from St. Kitts, Tejon Webb. You'll see an easier finish. You won't see an easier finish than that in the heats for Romario Gibson of Jamaica. And the fastest man in qualifying, Jacario Wilson, missed a medal last evening in the 4 hurdles, the under 17 champion at 110 hurdles last year. Look at him here in the middle of the picture. Comes in cruising away from Omari Brown and Robert Miller of Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica respectively. So Jacario Wilson would want to put the disappointment of not earning a medal in the 400 hurdles last evening. He certainly will be favored to get a medal and potentially strike gold later on in the final. 13.48, the fastest time going into the final, courtesy of Wilson. And of course, we had, as mentioned, the under 17 boys long jump, which just concluded. And Bernard, your take as to what happened this morning, as we see Paul getting that 6.93 distance to take the gold.
It was very, very competitive morning that we would have had. And it's always a joy to look at the technical competence of the hurdlers. And what a better exposition you can get from a young man from the Bahamas. On points. And winning, not just winning, is the comfort in which he won his heat. So I think this tells us that our finals later this evening, afternoon, evening, is going to be quite competitive.
Certainly, so as we head to wrap up our coverage of the morning session, just waiting for Clyde to let us know if he has gotten the gold medalist in the long jump, Michael Paul.
And on your screen, you're getting a shot here. It's one of the better places to be this time of the day. It's a rhythm section in the bleachers.
That's where you were yesterday. You said that you had the best view in the house, Bernard.
Exactly, that's where it was. It doesn't get better than this.
So this is the end of the morning session for day 3, the final day of the 53rd staging of the Carifta Games. A lot of action in this short morning session.
Lots of action. And when you come back rejoin us later this afternoon into the evening, all finals. A whole series of finals.
So not hearing from Clyde, so we're going to end our coverage here for this morning session. We'll be back later on this afternoon. Seems as if Clyde has Michael Paul. Clyde, are you hearing us?
Yes, I'm hearing you, Donald, and down here with Michael Paul. Michael, normally at the jumps you start slow and you build, but you came out firing 6.93 on your first run, proving to be the ultimate. Tell us about that event.
Honestly, I didn't expect to jump 6.93. I expected much higher standards of myself, but with the unpredictable win, I just took my losses and went out there and did my thing.
All right, after the first jump, the rhythm seemed to be off slightly, I guess, as you said, the wind. But in terms of the training and the preparation, how prepared were you coming into this event?
I was very prepared. A lot of hard work and dedication, lots of setbacks, and just a lot of stuff happening in training that you usually wouldn't expect. But I came in here mentally and physically prepared for this event, which is why I came out with this attitude.
All right, well, I know you have a lot of support here in Grenada, but there must be some persons back home that you want to shout out.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Mr. Ken, I love you, Mr. Ken. Mr. Wendell, I love all you. Well, it was there from day one and still here.
All right, so there you heard it from Michael Paul, the gold medalist from Trinidad and Tobago in the boys under 20 long jump.
Thank you very much, Clyde. So that does it for our coverage here of the morning session of the final day of action here at the Carifta Games. We'll send you back to your respective studios. We will be back later on this afternoon. The first action slated to get back at 3:15 p.m., but we'll be here much earlier than that to give you some roundup, some interviews, and to look ahead as to what is to come for this final day of what has been an exciting Carifta Games here in Grenada. See you soon.
Doing what I doing. Doing what I doing. And then you run my movie. Doing what I doing. Don't study me, no. Doing what I doing. Don't study me, no.
Kites in the sky, families on the beach, good food, good vibes. It's the Easter season, but parents, remember this. Even on holidays, your parenting duties continues. If they're at the beach, stay within arm's reach. If they're flying kites, keep them away from the roads and electrical lines. If they're out, know where they are, who they're with, and what time they're coming home. And remember, if you're liming, somebody must stay sober to supervise. More free time means more screen time. Monitor online activity. Maintain curfews. Keep structure in place. Because safety starts at home. This Easter, let's protect what matters most. A message from the National Parenting Program, Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. Empowering parents, protecting children.